And as we all know, sometimes these things happen. And I think that's one of the examples how we should be quite mindful and careful and easy about this stuff, because the last thing what we could do right now is to be hard on ourselves, right? Oh my god, this doesn't work, this is not perfect. But actually, I think that was one of the perfect examples how if something goes wrong, just have a giggle about this, restart and go again. What do you think about this, Diana?
I love that, Olga. And that brings me to, I am busy writing another book, which are the pillars of self-love. And there are so many more pillars than initially when I started. You know, I had all these pillars in mind, and there are just more. But one of the most important ones is kindness. And what you just mentioned is you would actually, we were kind to ourselves, because a technology glitch is not up to us. It's out of our hands. And so just be kind. And with that comes patience and having a giggle, like you said, like we can just actually take it in our stride because life happens. So yes, that's self-love. Often, I know in the past when I was younger, I would be hard on myself in every situation. It was like I took everything on. Everything was my fault. I had to fix it. I had to make it better. And the pressure of that and the overwhelm is just incredible. So yeah, self-love has shifted all of that, and it really pays to be kind to yourself.
You know, I so hear you right now, because I was exactly the same spot. Everything had to be so perfect. Everything had to be so proper. Everything had to be the right way. There was the right way or no way, right? Some people call it my way or no way, right? But I had the right way or no way, right? And it took me some time to realize, take it easy. Just have a giggle. Just have a giggle and accept that nothing in the world can be under your control. What's interesting, once we let go of control, then we realize we can have a lot happier life.
Yeah.
And very often, we're trying to be in control of uncontrollables.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what makes us so unhappy. Like,
Yeah.
we cannot control these technologies out. We cannot control the Wi-Fi, but we get really angry because it's not under our control. But allowing yourself to get angry at little things like that is not self-love.
Not at all. Not at all. And you've actually brought up another thing which you asked earlier is ways that we can see.
Yes.
And that is a key indicator, is that sense of when you're trying to get it right all the time, and as you said, have it proper and have it perfect. There are so many rules, and it's such hard work trying to control everything and everybody around us with our little rules of what makes something perfect or what makes life proper, that we exhaust ourselves, and that is not self-love at all. And as you say, at the moment, I've been loving the saying, the minute you let go of it, the minute you let go, you get more than you could ever have imagined. And letting go of those rules and that idea of what's perfect is when you turn within.
Yes.
And that's another key indicator, is when you feel like you have to control everything and hang on tight and make it perfect and make it right. What's going on inside? Check in with yourself, because there's a part of you that is just crying out for some attention and some TLC, some tender, loving care. That's it. And tending to that side of yourself will allow you to let go. And you have both experienced this firsthand, Olga. Letting go, and then it's like, oh, what a relief.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you let go, then you have this liberation, then you have the freedom. And this is so powerful. And something actually sparked that I thought in my mind is, when we let go of those rules, we let go of those conditions, right? Because we almost like tell ourselves we can love ourselves only when we are perfect, only when we are the right way, only when we perform at a certain level, only when we succeed to a certain level. But it all is conditional. That all is conditional. So how can we love others unconditionally if we haven't learned to love ourselves unconditionally? And also other people who come into our lives, how they can love us unconditionally if we don't love ourselves unconditionally. So I think it's so powerful to really let go. And actually, I'm so happy we had this technical glitch earlier on, because the perfect example how don't allow yourself to be affected by outside circumstances, to lose the beautiful joy of being in tune with everything that happens around you. And I guess also probably your energy and my energy, Diana, are so powerful that they'll probably knock off the entire Wi-Fi.
There we go. That's exactly what happened. I just love what you were saying now, though, Olga, and it brings back to what you said earlier, is that everything we ever need is inside of us.
Yes.
And it's inside of us from day one, and it's inside of us today, and it will be tomorrow and every day. And it's in that letting go and coming back within that so often we get a better result. Well, every time we let go, we get a better result. Actually, controlling never brings the best result.
Yes.
Life has the best result for us. And when we let go of that control and turn within to the place where everything that we need is, that's when we get the result we want. I mean, you know that I've experienced that how many times where I've really had a plan, a definite plan, but I've been so hard on myself in making that plan happen. And then realizing that, coming back within, giving myself that TLC, figuring out why I wanted to control the outcome so badly, and then getting a completely different outcome that was absolutely miraculous. It just worked. So, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
definitely another space that just brings us full circle back to that inner self where everything is.
Yes, totally, totally. I love that, and I absolutely love that. Well, so far, what we discovered are the symptoms of not having the self-love. We also discovered how can you get in touch with your self-love, and how can you actually work on your self-love. But also, I would like to ask you another question about how do you think the self-love or lack of self-love can affect other areas and aspects of our lives, are parts of loving relationships and also relationship with our friends? Because I know how our mindset works. It takes one thing, and it's like a batter spreads across the entire life of our lives, right? All the aspects. So I wonder how lack of self-love can affect other aspects and areas of our lives.
Oh, that's such a good question, Olga. Such a good question. Um, I have 3 pillars in the work that I do with people, and it's love your body, love yourself, love your life. And it's so interesting that you asked this because it starts here. So I always say, first of all, first place it can affect you is your health, your well-being, your fitness. Literally every aspect of your physical self is affected by self-love. So wanting to look the way you look, wanting to feel the way you feel, having that vital health, that is impacted by self-love, definitely. If you look at people with eating disorders, whether they are not eating or overeating, that is a form of your inner self searching for something, crying out for something. And because you might not have taken the time or haven't been taught how to love yourself, you don't know what you need, and so you solve it with either taking food away or putting food in. So it affects your body. The same thing can be said not only for food, but for all substances, um, alcohol, drugs, all of that type of thing. How you take care of your skin, how you care for yourself. So self-care is a very, very big part of that. So we can see that in our body in a big way. And then when I get to love yourself, that's more about knowing it can affect, as you asked Olga, outside of relationships, it can affect your relationship with the work that you do, with the job, with feeling a sense of purpose in life. It can affect how you show up in everything, just things like how you behave in the traffic when you drive your car, or are you being the person that you imagine you would like to be, or are you being a diluted version of that? And if there's any dilution, it's a sign that some more self-love will really, really help. And then that flows into loving your life. And what I've seen time and time again is that by working with your body, by working with your inner self, and by really, really committing to this self-love journey, the fruit of that is what you see in your life. So the results you get in your life then is start speaking to you. So you will do better at work. You will, and that is whether you work for yourself or whether you work for another company, whether you work in a charity, whatever you do, what you bring and your offering and your service to life and to the world will improve when you're committed to loving yourself properly. So there are many ways to see it. You can see it in your physical self, in your relationships, in your quiet time with yourself. Do you ever give yourself 5 minutes where it's just you with yourself? Or is that really, really scary and you know you have to switch the TV on or grab something to do or talk to somebody on the phone? So there are many ways to be able to see it in your life, in your physical body, in your mind, and in the results that you see around you. Yeah.
You know
Thanks.
what? I love how you beautifully went through all areas and aspects of our lives, how lack of self-love can affect us. And, you know, I can definitely relate to eating, for example, when we are not projecting that self-love towards ourselves, that unfortunately we're going to go and we're going to seek that food. We're going to seek those drinks. We're going to seek those cigarettes. We're going to do something self-indulge ourselves because we're lacking that self-love. And actually that could be also going into excessive sex with various partners, right? It could be also chasing all the time the game playing and stuff like that. So the ways how we are trying to fulfill our self-love are infinity.
Yeah.
All of those addictions, they always indicate about lack of self-love, so we have to pay attention to that. And also the same with work. I love the way how you said it. The minute you have healthy self-love and that relationship with yourself, your work will improve because people will start mirror who you are. And that actually answers the question which Mehmet asked me. Miss Grant also very equipped and full with wisdom. I wonder how you're able to find such quality people. My respect to you and your guest. Well, Mehmet, I must say, that's exactly what happens when your self love is at a healthy level. You start attracting people at your level because people who come into your life, that will always mirror who you are. And if there's something you don't like within those people, it means there's something you don't like within yourself, but you cannot see that within yourself because, first of all, I cannot see the back of my head, right? So you cannot see your own characteristics which you don't like. So people who come into your life, they will mirror what you don't like. And the same with awesome people. So person like Diana Grant came into my life out of a blue, out of a nowhere. We had instant connection, and we also clicked on the basis of serving others, helping people, and look what we do right now. We collaborate together in order to deliver this most important message of probably nowadays, especially when people are, you know, in their boxes of their houses, locked up and cannot go self-indulge themselves with food in a restaurant. They cannot go on a date. They cannot go see different people to fulfill the lack of self-love with hugs and conversations with other people. They have to be by themselves. So at these times of the lockdown, when many countries are still closed, this is the time for you to work on your self-love. And Diana, I know that you have magical, magical cards, which I do have as well. Could you please share them? Because I know that they're so helpful when it comes to self-messaging, when it comes to self-love. And could you please tell us more about those? Because I know they'll be so helpful to so many people, especially during these times.
Absolutely, Olga. Thanks for that. I do have them with me because whenever I speak to anybody, I have them with me. Um, so for many years, I've loved affirmations. When I first discovered Louise Hay years and years ago was when I discovered the concept of working with affirmations, the positive power of words. And through the years, I started writing my book. That's what it looks like. Love Me Beautiful. So it is all about self-love. It's a playbook. Um, and as I was writing the book, I've got goddess cards, I've got different affirmation cards that give wonderful positive messages. And I thought, this book needs cards. It's just such a fun and also powerful way to support the self-love journey. I wanted to just touch on something as well. a nice easy tip that I want to share with everyone today, which kind of ties into these cards, which I'll get to. So I'll finish about the cards. So these are them, and every card has a different affirmation written on it. So I am beautiful. I mean, how lovely is that? We all need to hear that sometimes, right? Here's a beautiful one. My light shines brighter than the darkness of my fears. So the way to use these cards is just whenever you need it. Could be once a day. It could be 3 times a day. It could be once a week. Is to pull a card, any card, and really, really just connect with the message that's there and work with it and see how it can serve you in that time. One that I've just pulled that I'm passionate about. I am the love of my life.
Oh, wow.
And for me, that is just such a powerful message, because that comes back to what I was saying earlier about the fact that this is what we need to care for. And it's from here that we can then give love, give respect, receive respect, all of that stuff. So those are the cards. I know a lot of people, a friend of mine, she sticks them up in her office. I know other people whose daughters stick them up in their bedrooms on the wall so that they can see their card. When I use one, I usually stand it on my desk. And these ones I actually stand. Olga, you and I have chatted about feng shui on the desk. You
Yes.
gonna help me with that? So yeah, I put this in my relationship corner because in that relationship corner has to be my relationship with myself as well.
Yes.
So that is, as we've been talking about, so important. And then I just, every time I look up, I'll see my message to myself. I'll be like, that's something to think about. And sometimes it might annoy me. For example, when I was single and I really, really wanted a beautiful partnership, I craved it. And I was writing the book at the time. And that concept of I am the love of my life, I was like, I'm tired of that now. I'm tired of that. But you know what? I wasn't really. What I was, right, was I was thinking I was tired of getting annoyed. Back to your point, Olga, about mirroring. So
Yeah.
what that was mirroring for me is that I hadn't fully committed to myself yet. Even in the process of writing the book and doing the work that I do, there was still more for me to do, which, as you know, I believe there probably always will be until our very last breath, more to be done. So, yes, this is my mission, self-love. And then when I came around to that, I mean, I nearly laughed my head off when I realized, oh yeah, that's why it's annoying me. There's more work to be done. And then shortly thereafter, I actually met my husband now. So how cool is that for coming full circle and being the love of my life? And finally, when I took that on board 100%, I then was able to attract my husband into my life. So yes, on that mirroring thing, that is so powerful. And then on the word, I would just like to share a lovely, lovely technique with everyone that I really, really am passionate about sharing. If you are not familiar with self-love and you're not familiar with making a connection with yourself, or you love the idea of self-love, but you're not sure how to bring it into your life, there is a really, really wonderful little magic trick that I love sharing, and it's called mirror work. And you may or may not have heard of it before. But right now, just after this live, when we finish chatting, go to the mirror and just hold eye contact with yourself. See if you can do it for 30 seconds. If you haven't done it before, that might seem like an eternity. But just hold eye contact with yourself. And that is so powerful because the eyes really are the windows to the soul. And looking at your own eyes, as you would look into the eyes of your child or your lover or your friend with intent and care, is so very powerful because you will see yourself. And thereafter, you can play with it. I mean, I now do it every morning. I say good morning to myself. I'm the first person I say good morning to. And it really is amazing. It feels great. And in those moments when things seem uncertain and you're not sure, and you really can't find the answer in all your thoughts, because let's not joke, our minds are busy and full, going to the mirror and connecting with yourself is so very powerful. And often an answer will come from there. And the answer might be in your car.
I love that. That technique is beautiful. And I must say, Something similar I do frequently with my clients as well when we work on their self relationships. And it's amazing how very rarely people can do it. Look into their own eyes and say, I love you. I love you. I accept you. I respect you. It brings so many tears. It brings so many emotions and so many memories. So I definitely recommend to do that because I've done it myself so many times and I still do it every day as well. It's so, so powerful. But be aware, you will hear sometimes voices of your parents. You will hear sometimes voices of other people telling you, no, you're not good enough. No, who do you think you are? And that always conditioning. Just understand that you are there to love yourself unconditionally. Just like Diana says, look at yourself deep into your eyes and keep repeating, I love you. I accept you. I respect you. You are my love of my life. And this is powerful. It's really powerful. We actually have Vinit on YouTube who's saying greetings to the wonderful ladies. Thank you so much. And also there's a question for you, Diana. Any specific time of the day when the use of those affirmation cards would be more effective? Which is a great question.
Ah, that's a very great question. And I know you and I both love this topic.
Oh, yes.
So, Vinay, thank you for the question and thank you for being here. I find it very, very powerful to use affirmations first thing in the morning. I'm passionate about my morning ritual. I call it magic morning me time. It's that quiet time before sort of life starts and the world gets awake and gets going. Um, that is my favorite time of the day. And I take time out just for me. And that's when I connect with using affirmation cards, writing the affirmation out for myself, speaking it out loud, and keeping it top of mind. Because there's actually science behind this. When you wake up, your mind has been sleeping. The mind that runs us, that runs all this conditioning that Olga was speaking of 2 minutes ago, that part of us has been asleep. And so it's a chance to reset. And so those first minutes or hour of the day are so powerful because all that conditioning is in a rest state. And so you can then come in with the new conditioning or the stuff that you really want for yourself, like being the love of your life and using an affirmation. I know that Olga and I are both on the same page with this. We include meditation, journal work, a bit of something physical as well, some nice healthy well-being things like drinking lemon water. But yes, I definitely believe using the affirmation cards first thing in the morning, super powerful. However, if you don't get to them in the morning, anytime after that, yeah.
Absolutely. And I agree with you because, to be honest, there's never too much of good messaging to yourself. It's like with other people. Can you ever hear too much, I love you? Can you ever hear too many compliments? No, right? So the same with self love. Can you ever give yourself too much of self love? No. Give yourself more because
Yep.
the more abundant you are, the more you'll be able to give back. So let's remember that. So I wonder, Diana, and this idea actually came to me after I read Zelda's comment here. Mine today is just breathe. Love you, girls. Sue Maria on YouTube. Thank you so much for this beautiful comment. Thank you. So I wonder, Diana, could you please pull a card for all our listeners today? What would be the card? And maybe that could be our tradition for every live in the future. At the end, we're gonna pull a card which will be based for for the day for all people who will be listening us. What do you think?
I absolutely love that idea. And I'm busy shuffling them right now as you're speaking because I think that's a
Ooh,
brilliant
I love it.
I would like to quickly give some very, very worthy attention to Sumia, who made that comment. The reason why she's so familiar with the cards is not only because she has her own pack, but she has her own pack because she designed them.
Oh, wow.
So thank you, Sumia, for being here.
Oh,
It means a lot. And yeah, so she's the designer who made these beautiful cards. Look the way they look.
wow.
Um,
And
so
by the way,
yeah, she added the color and yeah, all this beautiful. So now I'm
oh,
going to pull a card.
Sumaria, thank you so very much for designing the cards because without you, we wouldn't be able to have the card today. So thank you so much for that.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Well, this is a really, really simple one. And before I show everyone what it says, this is the card that I pulled for you all. Before I show you what it says, this is a choice. And a lot of self-love is about all those tiny decisions that we make every day, all day. And so here is something that we can all choose to live by every single day. And it is, life is beautiful. There we go. That's the message for you today. Everyone is here. Life is beautiful. And if we choose to live by that, that will be our experience.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Diana, for that. I wonder if you would be generous enough to share the link with us. I'm not sure if you still sell them, actually, by the way, but if there's a chance to get them, if you could share maybe the link with us, if people would like to get them, because I think it's quite powerful to have cards with you when you can pull out a message for yourself and just to have it. And one of the cards which I know I still have in my car, even though I haven't been driving my car for a few months since I'm away now. But in my car, when you put the sun protector down, there's a card stuck all the time because the card speaks to me so loud. And the message on the card says, your life, is it like the mirror? Life is a mirror? Something like that.
Yeah.
And for me, that was really powerful. Life is the mirror. And I thought, wow, okay, so I need to be mindful of what's in my mind, what's in my heart, in order to see what's happening around me. So I must say these cards are very powerful. I have a pack for myself. So if you could share with us the link, I'll be really, really grateful, because maybe somebody would like to purchase them, and that would be amazing for them to have. So I think it's quite nice tradition. We'll be going forward to actually pull a card for people at our live sessions, which we're going to do once a month, so people can actually, receive a message for themselves from ourselves. What do you think?
I love that, Olga. I absolutely love it. I actually do it in most of my group sessions anyway. I love pulling cards. So I love that idea. So yeah, fantastic. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, I'm not sure if you noticed that we already been here nearly an hour.
Oh my goodness.
Technical glitch, right? But I was hoping there's going to be a short session. But of course, on such important topic, it can never be a short session.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, our dear listeners and those who are watching us today, we will come back and we're going to do it once a month with Diana, amazing Diana Grant, who is author, speaker, and also amazing coach when it comes to self-love and building relationship with yourself. Howard says here, I love your card too, Olga. Thank you so much. The card is amazing. But all the cards belong to Diana, so it's all Diana's work. But the card which I pulled out from the pack, which I have, it's mine, yes, and I really love that too. So yes, well, Diana, what can I say? I'm looking forward to our next session next month, and we're gonna bring great content for you all. Please do us a favor. Could you please share this video, the first one or the part 2, because there are 2 parts today, right? Could you please share that with other people so you can inspire other people with Diana's work, okay? Because we would love to make sure that the world hears this important message of self-love. And before we go, Diana, could you please tell people how they can get in touch with you and how they can work with you?
Absolutely. And firstly, thank you so much, Olga. What a fantastic chat. I can't believe we just chatted for so long, even with our break, our part 1 and part 2.
Thank you.
To get hold of me is really, really easy. The easiest way is via my website, which is www.dianagrant.com, and everything is there. You're welcome to book a call with me or get in touch via WhatsApp. My phone number is there. All my social media is there. So www.dianagrant.com. I hope to chat to you soon.
That's beautiful. And I would like to send everybody a big, big hug, and especially to you, Diana, because I know this is the time when we all need one. So I'm sending you all a big hug, big, big loving hug, because it's important to feel it sometimes, right? So thank you so much, Diana, my darling, for being today at my show. Thank you, everybody who was watching us today, who listened to us. Thank you all who will share this message. I really, really highly appreciate that. So stay tuned, because we're going to come next month again, and we're going to bring more content for you, because self-love is a topic which the world needs to hear about, and we're going to be there for you on a regular basis. And to be very precise, so it's easier to remember, it will be every second Monday of the month. So you can put in your calendar, we're going to be going live with Diana Grant right here on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn for you all.
Fantastic.
You all once more, big hug, and we'll see
Big
you
hug.
with Diana.